Hey guys, my name is Namiri and it's time for another kicking of the week. And I got a question from a friend of mine on how to make reverse basses, and we're going to try to do that with Serum. So the first thing I want to do is get the punch right, and we're going to go for some kind of club kick punch. So let's just see what samples we can find. Maybe this one and at 12. Just putting two together to get our own sound. And let's make it only take the halfway so that we have space over here for the reverse bass. Put these two in a mixer. And then we're gonna make them fit together just using some pogo. Now this sounds nice, and it's just a little bit more creative than taking one sample. And now let's get our reverse bass going. Let's just see which note will work with the kick drum that we're having right now. So I'm just going to put this down 2 octaves, pull down the random. I think a G might work. In my head at least a G might work. Okay, yeah, I think so. We're also just gonna start with the little bit of automation to get that reverse bass feeling, and that's just to get that offbeat bass going. We're gonna stretch this out a little bit, so. Because of course you're never gonna get a real reverse bass in Serum. You're never gonna reverse a sample, but we can still use the wavetables and stuff in Serum to create a reverse bass feeling. So yeah, let's just get a new wavetable. I'm curious. Maybe this one, not sure. Now I'm just going to mute the punches to really work on the bass first. To really hear if it's a good bass. I think we can use this in our advantage, a little crunch over here. Let's get a distortion going, because that's going to change the sound a little bit anyways. Yes, I think this works. Now we're going to put the volume right for just a little bit to make sure that we can really work on the bass. Let's just make some parameters move so we can create a nice flow. Okay, our EQ in front of the distortion. I'm gonna try a low cut again, see if it makes the tail a little bit warmer. Maybe make this move in gain a little bit. phasing will just change up the sound a little bit. I feel we can get a little bit more crunch out of here, so let's maybe try with an extra filter, or maybe make it a little bit warmer by cutting off some of the highs. Maybe something like that. At least making that filter move at that spot. Now this drive on the filter just really creates more tight sound. So let's just play around a little bit with that, get that just right, and then we can move on. Yeah, we're gonna keep this, and now we're gonna sample this. But the way we're gonna sample this is we're just gonna lift this up, so we really have the space to make a new automation clip on the volume for this bass. So this will do. And the fun thing is, whenever you're trying to make whatever kind of kick you're trying to make in Serum, it just doesn't really change up your workflow too much. You can just say, I want to make a reverse bass, and start working on a reverse bass crunch, and then you're noticing, hey, you have a nice sound, and the sound just still sounds a little bit thin, so you're gonna add that warm layer from Serum again, and then you're gonna have a finished tail, or well, you're gonna get finished quite quickly. So that's the same thing I'm gonna do right now as well. I'm just gonna make sure that this character fits the club kick just right, and then we're gonna add a warm layer, maybe distort it a little bit, and then we're done. So let's just route our club kicks to a little buzz, and just place the crunch at the right spot. Okay, sounds nice. And now we're going to work on our warm layer. So getting a new Serum. But for real, it's the biggest tip I can give. It's just set your mind on a certain type of kick, open Serum, and it doesn't matter if you're tweaking for like 2 or 3 hours to get it sound just right. As long as you're really learning to understand what's happening in Serum, you can just make any kind of kick with just creating that character and then adding a warm layer, and then you're gonna be done 9 out of 10 times. At least to get the basics, it's really nice. That was nice. Just make it move a little bit. Maybe we can add some noise again. Yeah, I like this. Let's just sample this. I'm just making this sub move so it's moving a tiny bit, but it doesn't mean that we need to use this offbeat part. We can maybe even just scroll through it and we'll end up having the cleaner part under our crunch. So let's put this in a mixer channel and layer them together. And let's keep it like this first. Give this the same automation clip. And let's just route these to bus. I actually like what's going on right now. It sounds nice. Let's just sample it like this, or keep the sample like this. Now let's see if we can maybe add a little bit of distortion on our club kick, see if it sounds nice. Just a little bit of that distortion is nice in my opinion. And now the final thing we gotta do is just really glue our punch and tail together. Let's just route them to one channel. I think we might even have a quite nice transition already. Let's see. It's okay, but I feel there's a little bit of issues in the punch part, because over here these tiny phasing problems shouldn't be there. So let's go back to this one and let's pogo it a little bit more, a little bit less, just see where it fits better. Does this make the problem a little bit less? Yeah, that's way better. Yes, that's it. And now let's see how it affects our reverse bass. Cat is nice, but just this transition is a little bit trash. So we might want to, let's see, we might want to take this a little bit longer. See if that just fills up the gap a little bit. It just made this louder, and that's not something we want. So we're gonna take this back and put it at halfway. Then maybe what we want to do is take this a little bit later, but let it move up a little bit earlier. Maybe a little bit more. A little bit. Let's see what happens if we cut this off a little bit. Okay, so that does affect each other. Then maybe like this. Let's loop it again to see if it really works with the flow of the reverse bass. I think this is nice. Now maybe the thing that can just give a little bit more of a clean transition is adding an automation on the volume of the club kick. So we can maybe stretch this out a little bit longer but make the ending a little bit more tight. So let's see. Yeah, that's helping. And maybe a thing we can try is just the phasing of this, just changing it up a little bit. See, what happened was that the sub was really not working together with our club kick well. But I thought maybe if we just scroll through the waveform a little bit more, it will maybe fit the sub from the club kick a little bit more. And now we have a nice crunch and the rhythm is still there, but as you look at this through here, it's just looking a way more nice. It's just, you can see that there's no real problems with the transition from the club kick to the tilt. So now we've been really paying attention to getting the phasing right and making the kick and the bass flow well together. But I'm noticing that we're lacking a little bit of crunch. So let's just distort our tail layer a little bit and see if that brings back a little bit of crunch. This is already just so much better. It's just, yeah, just like a little bit of crunch. But I do feel we miss a little bit of sub again right now. So let's just boost a little bit of sub. And I think one more thing we can add is just a little bit of reverb on our tail. So let's just send this to a reverb channel. And put that under here. And of course, give it its own automation clip on the volume. We can make this move a little bit. Whoops. Like this. And now of course we're going to make this fit with the drive of the kick and just the balancing, and then I think we're done. And even when playing around with reverbs, that phasing is still important. If you notice, if you listen carefully, you can really hear that with this first spot that I had it on, the crunch just sounds a little bit different, so just listen for that. So really pay attention to these small details, but I think this is it for now. And let's just route that to our boss. And maybe raise up the volume from the punch a little bit. Now one thing before it's totally finished, let's just add the sub a little bit on the tail, because we're adding this extra mid information with that reverb. The sub is just going to get a little bit weaker in comparison to that. We're just going to lift this up a little bit more. I'm just going to take a new EQ for this. So that we make sure that this sub is just really carrying the rest of that crunch. And now we can limit this. Just be careful that you don't destroy the sample when limiting. Just limit it to the point where it's not losing power because of fluctuations in the volume, but you don't want to limit it so hard that it's fully clipping. And this is how I would make my reverse bass kicks. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked it and that you learned something from this. And hopefully I'll see you back soon again. Cheers.